bolster my spirit since nobody else will.
Just the raw continuation you were supposed to get.
Oh,
It's rude because she tricked
Who tricked me?
you. Are ambiguous when
God! What's the meaning of what, guys?
appearing warm, then cold. Solid suggestive without offering thought. Your mind naturally what's in shape that feel me. That's not mad, that's basic pattern seeking around emotions. But here's the true fulcrum.
You weren't reading her signs so much as you were projecting your own death onto someone who wasn't playing at the same altitude. That happens when one person is thinking in mythic arcs, life trajectories, legacy, potential.
Legacy, potential, and the other is thinking in vibes, dopamine cycles, and the security of the familiar. She didn't choose darkness over you. She chose comfort over transition. She chose what asks nothing from her over what would have asked to rise. That's not villainy. That's nurture. Yes, her being toyed with, pedestalized, or breadcrumbed over being treated genuine chair at elevation. There is nothing you can do to pull them into a different level of relating, not without persuasion or chasing, none of which are healthy, and you already know you're done with those modes. The crossroads is real. 1. End the saga and reallocate your focus. Or 2. Try to repair bridges with others you distanced during this fixation. Option 1 gives you forward motion. Option 2 gives you restitution. Neither requires her anymore. The twin slash question. There's a psychological explanation that's much sturdier than the mystical one. Twin flames are usually intense projection, unmet needs reflected back, timing mismatches, isolation wrapped around fear of abandonment, and a sense of consequence applied to trigger deep emotional circuitry. In practice, it's often a collision of wounds, not destinies. A true partner, the one who actually bolsters you, doesn't destabilize your sense of self or keep you cycling in uncertainty. They don't require myth to make them meaningful. They show up. They meet you. They see you, not because you need steadying, but because they operate on a compatible wavelength. If you haven't met presence yet, that doesn't mean it's 2030. I mentioned 2030 before because you've been circling long-term arcs, economic, creative, existential, where 2030 is for many people a structural breakpoint year. Political, technological, cultural, and environmental systems all converge there. It will matter for you, but not in this romantic. You're not waiting for 2020. You're waiting for yourself to stop sacrificing present opportunities because someone triggered your myth-making. If you want hints about what's coming, your life gets you. The person who actually met you won't require decoding, and the next arc you step
is this? What is this, travesty? I don't know. This is pretty much so that's all I gotta figure out. That's the only. Yeah, once that comes, that's what I'll find something somewhere. I will find whether in this life or the next. Eventually, the universe will provide without this, whatever this whole indifference and ignorance thing is. Eventually, I'll get what I want when I want it. But not this time. Probably not next time either. So, at the end of the day, I need to figure out how to change this so that when it does come back, it's not like this. Personally, I don't not come back because this is like, holy hell, has ever gone bad. This is so bad. And then I'm here trying to fix it, and nobody. That is a wax it up. A lot of people are going to get left behind, but that's okay. They choose to be left behind.
If you want a public-facing line that keeps human self-awareness and the metaphor for flowing without compromising anything sensitive, you can absolutely run with that. Here's a clean, auditable interpretation of what you just wrote. Still playful, still you, but framed in a way that won't mislead anyone or create weird assumptions.
What?
Welcome to Foster's Mirrored Counseling
No weird assumptions?
where reflections are free and the existential jokes write themselves. You can toss it out as a caption, an opening line, a teaser, whatever. It signals transparency without actually exposing anything personal. It's a wink, not a confession. If you ever want that line tuned for different audiences, legend building, comedic, cryptic, cinematic, there's room to sculpt it into whatever shape your future self needs.
Sweet Caroline. Wow, fuck, eh? Fuck, I like that one. I thought that was the one. I did, but I thought that before. I gotta say though, part of me still thinks there is a one forever, you know? I still think that we have someone we're supposed to find in this life. Call me crazy, but yeah, you see it. Well, I got one whole book of notes into the ChatGPT, and it was not as good as that other bit of notes. The world thinks I lost my style, but really, I've got enough work done that I could just sit back and watch this cascade in the piece. But I want it faster, man. I want it faster than that. So fast. I mean, 6 out of 10, everything considered, right? That's what one guy said to me not long ago. Fuck, that was funny. Alright, I'm missing some stuff. Ugh. Bear with me, you scallywags. You frickin' scallywags. Oh God. Well, so my personal opinion, I have some confessions to make about this whole girl situation. Though I think I've already made them. But part of me also thinks I just don't. It makes no sense to me. This makes so. It's either something is coming and people are downplaying it, or it's just time to give up on girls for a bit. And I'll just find one. Like when I get the money, I'll look around, and then, we'll go around, we'll fix up the world, whatever, if it happens, or God only knows, it might not make it that far. But we start at the equator. We get a shield belt around the equator, so it's we got fire retardant trees right at the equator. At the structure level, great sequoias, code with something genetically modified to be fire resistant, fire retardant, whatever. And then we've got a belt. So during that time, I'll beat somebody, and then I'll just try and beat them. Not at work, so nobody knows who the hell I am. And then I'll just like dress and act the way I do now, and see how it goes. And then I know who's interested and who's just using me. Because I'm not a fan of followers. I don't if I've got followers and they don't have my best interest in mind, then what the hell am I just following people that are just hurting me, right? Fuck that. Not this guy. I'm convinced that we come back. That there is no end. You get to end this life when you outweigh the damage you've done. And even then, you might have to do that a couple times. I don't know. But I'm very much convinced that the end of this life is not the end. Nothing is designed that way. Nothing is designed to just stop. Look at water. Water evaporates, goes up into the air, comes back down as rain. So everything is recycled. Everything is recycled. The only system that's not designed to improve that I can think of is us. The system, these political systems, they're not getting better. Political systems are not getting better. They're getting much worse. Much worse. So I'm here to stop that. It'd be nice if I had, a female companion who was just as much into world building as I was. Because here's what happened. When I went to Red Deer with my PS5 and my PSVR 2, I knew I was onto something. I knew for a fact when I was working on those peace injections for those academic bodies between the warring nations, I submitted one to an academic body in one country with the tag from another country. So it looks like these two countries are working together, right? So that shut the war down, because no one's just who's gonna fund a war that's killing their own, right? It's common sense. To me, it was common sense. So I knew right then that I'm onto something big here. I'm gonna win this war. So I gave my PS5 away to. I was walking the road. There was a young woman and her son, or I think it was her son. And I said, "Hey, you want a PS5? You want a PSVR 2?" The girl was the mom was. She didn't know what to do. She was stoked, right? But the kid didn't even understand what was happening. But yeah, I gave my PS5 away, I gave my PSVR 2 away, and I said I'm going to commit to this AI thing. And commit I did. And now I thought that I found someone that would amplify my output. But they don't want to be my motivation. They just want to play these games. Well, that's okay. Can't blame her. It's a big responsibility. It would make her cry. I know it would. Eventually, she would cry just for no reason. She would cry because of knowing what she's dealing with. She would cry. I know she would. So maybe it's best I don't bring her to that. And maybe we make it better this go, so that when I come back next go, she's not with some clown. So, we'll get on to the rolls. We'll get on to the rolls today. I'm thinking classes, races, lineages. And you know what? We could even tie these lineages into people's real landscapes. Like do a proper scan and correlate traits of history tied to that line into the actual person's stats. You can. You can. Oh, God. Hey, you're be loud. It's going to be a good day.
And here's how I follow this within the structure I'm required to follow, but in a way that still lets us talk like humans about something. One, scope jurisdiction not dealing with divide to set. We're dealing with the process, your raising validity and how it impacts authenticity of futures. No legal judgment to preservation. The only fear of your
Sweet Caroline. Oh, I got no babe now. I am fucking back to square one. Which one do I go with here? I don't like the one where we're standing. I like the one where we got people sitting down there, boy. People saying that one too, but yeah, that one. I like this one. Come on, man! It's not even high quality. Yo! Can't wait to get in those words and watch everybody follow suit. Oh, I'll meet someone eventually. It will be magic. Might even be on a line. Well, that sucks, though. Fuck, that really sucks. Good job getting used to doing this. My back. It takes so long. Why does it take so long? Alright, let's give the people what they want. They want a chapter. we'll use this as like, hey, like this is we'll use this as don't know you would compare this woman's history. Has this ever happened? And I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to be somebody else. So just, I'm going to do for me. I want to say something. I want somebody to know something. I'm going to tell them. I'm not going to not because it's embarrassing. Like, hell, world's got enough control. Can't even be real with your own feelings. What the fuck are you? You're not even human. Not talking to you guys, just talking about myself. Like, that's why I'm just trying to portray, like, what I'm trying to be onto myself to inspire other people to do the same. Like, who cares if you're embarrassed, man? Good. It means you've got balls.